Can your negative thoughts stop your manifestations forever? Now, in this video, I'm going to answer this question for you and hopefully give those of you that have got some fear and some anxiety about this a little bit of relief. Now, the answer to this is no. You are live streaming, okay? So if you change what you're outputting in your energy, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, then your projection changes and therefore your results must change, okay? So nothing is set in stone unless you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and then you don't see a change in your results, okay? Now, how do you know how to change this? How do I know that this is true? So, the reason I know that this is true is because I've changed it in all areas of my life, my money, my love life, and my work. And there is a personal journey of my manifestations. I've put them all in a playlist, so they're down below for you if you would like to listen to that. Now, how do you know the results will change? Well, you don't. You are going off what you've experienced before, and you might be seeing other people change, but it doesn't really mean anything to you because it's external. It's someone else's experience. The best way to prove it to yourself is for you to do it. So, when you are on a trajectory of negative thinking about a particular topic, you've got to make an effort. It's an effort of changing the thought, an effort of intercepting the fear, the anxiety, by getting your mind to go in a different direction and attach itself to a different thought. That takes practice. So if you keep doing, I don't have enough money, I'm not good enough, I'm afraid of success, I'm not loved, wanted, chosen, I'm too fat, whatever it is that you keep thinking on repeat, this is you moving towards unwanted things. But once you realize that you are the operant power, you are the one that can give your mind something to do rather than allowing it to do what it wants. So give your mind something to do. Have like a flip switch. So whenever I used to think, oh, I don't have enough money to do X, I'd go, okay, flip switch. Wouldn't it be nice if I had the money to do that? Whew, that feels a bit better. Yeah, it would, but I don't have the money. Yeah, but wouldn't it be nice if you could think about that it's possible that you would get the money to do that? Yeah, that would be nice. So it's changing the repetitive, habitual, negative thought clusters that we have because they group themselves. All right? Now, a couple of things that I hear regularly. So hopefully this will smash these myths and give you again a bit more freedom and a bit more relief. Now, crying is not a heading in the wrong direction. Okay, crying gives your body relief because you've pented up stuff for a period of time, and then when you start to cry, you're releasing the tension, you're releasing the buildup. We are human beings. We have an emotional guidance system, as Abraham Hicks says, and crying is a part of what we often need to do to blow off tension, to blow off stress, to release the pressure. So if you want to cry and you feel like crying, make time to do that when you're alone and let it out so you don't get interrupted. And it's a really great thing to release, because what happens after you cry? You do feel a relief. You might feel tired from the crying, especially if it's gone on for more than 30 minutes or an hour, but you will feel the relief, okay? This does not stop your manifestations, because what you're doing is you're going from a lower place of anguish and hurt and pain, and then you are releasing and feeling better. So crying is not the horrible thing that we think it is in terms of relating to a manifestation. Okay, now the second one, being needy. And I know many of you think, oh my goodness, I'm needy, I'm going to repel, I'm not going to get what I want. Now, it's acknowledging that you're needy. It's saying, what is it that I would like right now? What is it that I think I need? And then it's meeting your own needs your best you can. Now, sometimes people crave touch. They're not in a relationship. Well, then perhaps cuddle a pet, get a massage, ask a friend for a hug, meet your needs in other ways, okay? So it's okay to ask for things. And it's important that the more you take responsibility for your neediness and you don't go on this over contacting, trying to give people ultimatums and all of these sorts of things which don't work, to try a better way to meet your needs. And once you get better at meeting your needs, a day at a time, then you will start to see that your needs are more met from the outside, from perhaps specific people that you would like them met by. Okay? Now, if you have the belief, I've blown my chances, say you have done a lot of over contacting, then you need to pull up and set perhaps some bottom lines for yourself. Okay? It's important to not let the inner child rule the roost, because the inner child will run out and do whatever it wants, and then you end up with drama. Okay? And I'm talking about when the inner child's out of balance, not when it's happy and having a good time. Okay? So if you have done something like over contacting and you feel like I've blown my chances, pull back, work on your own needs, like we just talked about in the statement before of being needy, and get to the place where you really, really, really allow your emotions to pass through. If you let them pass through, then you become back to that lovely balanced state. You come back to it. And if you're in a balanced state, then you attract from a place of calm, a place of love, a place of feeling secure. So the whole thing is, we get out of balance, we come back in balance. We get out of balance, we come back in balance. And, you know, don't beat yourself up for these things. It's okay. But be aware of not putting that onto certain people that you want them to do specific things, because then that's trying to control, pressuring, and manipulating. Okay? So I hope that helps. And, you know, I understand the stress of this thing. Can our negative thoughts stop our manifestations forever? And it really is a stressful thing if you think that it can. So it can only really stop your manifestations forever if you never make a change, as in you never make an effort, you continue being committed to your limitations and your negative thought processes, and you refuse to change, or you make no effort to change. And then if you don't change your inside, then the outside doesn't change. So that's really the only exception, is that if you make no effort whatsoever and you keep indulging in negative, repetitive, habitual thought processes. Okay? So I hope that's answered the question a little bit more concisely. I did do a YouTube some years ago, probably about 5 years ago, where someone asked this question. I will put that YouTube up here next to my head and down in the description below if you would like to see the part 1, because this is the part number 2. Lots of love, and I'll see you in the next YouTube.